Kaufman, and I'm the director with Tom, with my wife Patrice, and maybe soon with Lisa, of Michigan EcoVillage. And so by background, I'm a registered nurse. Background in renewables, I helped form a wind turbine startup 2007-2008, and trained 5,000 people with my spouse for energy efficiency careers and medical careers. But I have the great good fortune of being the son of the founder of the organic food movement in Michigan. So my dad co-founded the Organic Growers of Michigan back in the 70s when he ran a school of homesteading in cooperation with Western Michigan University's environmental studies curriculum, where he was a PhD in, of all things, the comparative religion department. So he also tried to start an eco-village back in the 90s and in 2007 as a planned unit development, which he wasn't able to get the people to commit to buying into the property that he had. So he has since sold off to 3 CSAs. So there are now he had 160 acres, which now multiple small farms are operating and creating organic food in southwestern Michigan. Also is working with the Bangor Exchange Trading System, and is starting a transition town in Bangor, Michigan, and he's part of the West Michigan, the Allegan County group, helped found that. So that's like my background. That's what informed me as a person. But I'm a nurse. I'm a registered nurse. So this conversation for me is all through a filter. It's through a filter of people. What makes a difference for people? Serving people. So I'm hardwired that way, you see. So that's what gives the context to this talk today. So why even talk about EcoVillage? What is it? Why do we care, right? So we had a good introduction to that with transition and the comments that Tom made. The end of cheap energy is the end of economic growth. You may not have heard that elsewhere, but there's good studies on this. What caused growth? Industrial Revolution, cheap energy. What caused Keynesian economics? It's all cheap oil. Take that away, you don't have growth. And our economy is predicated on growth. So what do you do after growth? What do you do?
Slow down.
Yeah, slow down. This is an important factoid right here, that it takes 10 calories of oil to produce 1 calorie of food. Whereas it used to be more labor, manual, animal type labor. But have you seen the tractors now? It's amazing. So there's definitions out there about what eco-villages are. Here's one by Gilman: human scale, full featured, should have multiple centers of initiative, healthy human development. Wikipedia definition: social, economic, ecological sustainability, 150 people, shared values, alternative systems, small-scale communities, minimal ecological impact. This is a beautiful book that's available at the bookstore, which Tom was able to have the bookstore stock for us, and apparently they've been selling quite well, which is great. He's got a great definition on the back. And for Jonathan Dawson, who runs the Global EcoVillage Network in Europe, he says, eco-villages are local communities which aim to minimize their ecological impact, but maximize human well-being.
And happiness.
And happiness. Thank you. So, well-being and happiness. Yeah, I can get behind that. That's something I can get up and talk about, right? So what is Michigan EcoVillage? It's a domestic nonprofit here in the state. We have about 20 directors, core people that are committed to this vision. So it's really a vision. And not everybody kind of sees the vision. Some people, it's like, oh, yes! They've been waiting for that to be articulated in a way that they can, that's what I've been, you know, like that. And some people, it's like, not part of their worldview, not part of their, what they perceive, right? And so we're looking for people that are the yes, that's my vision people. And we need like 10. So we need like 10, right? So we need to buy land, we need capital. I mean, that's the real of this. right? They get down to out of the hypothetical down into the dirt. You need dirt if you're going to have a food-based industry that is going to take care of people, you know, like businesses and stuff. So what we've created is a network of supporters. It's a virtual community with a commitment to create communities in the cities of Flint and Detroit. EcoVillages in the cities, and also EcoVillages in the country, and they work together. So the country produces products, and the city is the offtake partner. The city value adds the products and resells them. So it's a network of an economy. And you could say that it's informed again by, this is my kind of my philosophy, a mutual benefit society. It's taking care of people. What are we doing? Well, we're meeting. We're planning what it would look like to live together. What about consensus? That's kind of scary, slippery concept. Consensus. Ooh, are we just going to meet all the time? You know, that's the kind of conversations that you have. Transition. So we're working with transition, partnering with transition. We're committed to acquiring land, and to do that, we're looking for some people with some money that want to have security for their families. I mean, that's a way to do it. There's a lot of ways to do it. There's a lot of ways that people are doing it. So we're just looking, and we're saying, well, who are the people that are that's what I'm looking for. How do we communicate with them? How do we get this message out? And then, because we're educators, that's what we do, is we educate. I came out of a family of educators, we're educators. Then it's teaching, another school of homesteading, teaching small-scale farming, teaching renewable energy. My dad lives in an off-the-grid house with 2 wind turbines and solar panels, and high-efficient home with, what are those, wood heat, Norwegian wood stoves, or he fire it once every other day or something. Vertically integrated food businesses. Alright, so here's a couple examples of some eco-villages that are of a social economic model. Los Angeles, retrofitting an apartment building. Earth Haven, 320 acres. A core group of founders bought the land, and then other people bought in. So that's kind of the vision, I guess I'm talking. 10 people, founders, put it together, and then people can join that don't have money but have labor and passion. Multiple cottage businesses for their members, for employment. Cultural, spiritual, this is kind of my background. So genetically I'm a Hutterite and Mennonite by DNA. And that started out with 3 colonies that came over in the 1870s, and now are 2,000 colonies. Because they're so efficient. They don't have to pay labor. Their community provides all the labor. Very successful. But they have a shared economy. And it's not like something Americans would say, what? I have to give up my individuality to be part of this community, and which frowns on me being different than everybody else? No, that's not going to fly here in the United States. A kibbutz, most of us have probably heard about. A moshav is another Israeli collective which may be more in tune with the sensibilities of the United States. Cooperative, individually owned farms, but people working together. Pool labor and pool resources, may have a collective food processing plant, distribution, that sort of thing. So we're intending to actually create an eco-village rather than talk about it. We're tired of talking about it. So we want our members to be secure, right? So we would have employment. We would create cottage businesses for members. And an alternative currency. So what happens if this global economy tanks? A local currency could be a lifesaver for some people. And renewables as a core, also solar in the form of photosynthesis, right? Solar to chemical energy for food. And education, right? So here's some questions. What is it that would make this interesting to people? Well, this is kind of the question we're having. We're rolling around. We're asking one another. How do we find those people? The people that are, yes, that's what I've been waiting for. Like that, right? And is it economics, that's the hook for us Americans? Because it's kind of not the spiritual thing, because we're all kind of doing that individually, or whatever we're doing, right? Social, maybe. But, you know, we can still drive around, so we got our social thing handled as long as we can drive. Right, go ahead.
You haven't mentioned the word moral, which seems to be the crisis we're currently undergoing.
You know, this could be a great thing for people that are informed by a moral sensibility, right? And I've thought that a church, for example, could throw their commitment towards a community like that for their members. That would be like a moral thing, like stewardship, right? Moral stewardship of the creation. Or is it a collective? Or is it a cooperative? You know, we have a vast number of agricultural cooperatives in the United States, very successful power cooperatives here. Wolverine Power is a cooperative. Right? What is it that's going to cause this, like, I'm on fire for EcoVillages now? Is it like shock? Do Americans only change when they have to? What is it? But there's some of us that are like passionate about this, so we want to find that. We're looking for like a dozen, like 10 people. So, any of those people here? They're like, yeah, yeah. See. So that's the inquiry.